Parkside Cabin Rentals, affordable rustic luxury in the Smokies. Chalets and log cabins, from intimate to grand. In town or in total seclusion, we can fit any need you have. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. Plan your vacation today.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control can help protect your home from animals, trapping and relocating wildlife, fixing the damage they cause, and preventing them from invading your home in the first place. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control and ask about our many services.
The following is a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.
Let's talk Tennessee football. This is the Sports Source Kickoff, presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals. Now, your host, John Pennington.
Good Saturday morning, good game day morning. It's a big one today. Tennessee, well, the SEC season starts, and you could say the real season. Obviously, West Virginia counted, but the last 2 weeks were kind of a mirage. So we'll take a look at Tennessee, Florida. That's our topic for today, obviously. We'll break it all down as it's brought to you by Parkside Cabin Rentals and one of their sister properties right here, Cherokee Lodge. And what you need to do, Cherokee Lodge, you can go find CherokeeLodgeCondos.com. That is where you need to go. You see the photos there. It's fantastic. Nicest overnight condo rentals in the Smokies. 2 and 3 bedroom units available. Each unit has a living room, fireplace, mountain view balcony, plus fully equipped kitchen and washer dryer. That beats a hotel stay. Right in the heart of Pigeon Forge, 5 minutes from Dollywood. The Cherokee Lodge. Folks, look it up, CherokeeLodgeCondos.com. It'll be on the screen right there, so you can mark it down. I am joined right over here by Josh Ward, Jimmy Himes, both these guys from WNML, the Sports Animal. Thanks for being here. And right down there, Ryan Callahan from GoVols247.com. You need to shorten that. It's too long. From a guy who has SportsSource.tv. GoVols247 gives me more room to mess up. Gentlemen, as I mentioned, big game at Neyland Stadium tonight at 7 o'clock. Tennessee also honoring the 98 team, the national championship team, which I think should create a pretty good crowd over there, good atmosphere. It's also going to help the Vols, I think, that Florida returned more tickets than they've ever returned to Neyland Stadium. They don't have a lot of fans coming up here. I think they look at their team kind of the way Tennessee fans are looking at their team, and that is, eh. So, two teams, mirror images in a lot of ways. They're both, eh. So you tell me, in terms of this game tonight, do you feel, which one do you feel more shaky about? Tennessee, when they have the football going against Florida's defense, or Tennessee's defense out there going against Florida's offense? Which concerns you more?
I might start with Tennessee's offense, and the reason for that is if you go with the defensive side, then you look at Felipe Franks on the field with the football. Jeremy Pruitt wants to try to take it away. So I think Tennessee's plan is let's win the turnover battle. That needs to be our biggest advantage. So if that's what you need to do, you want your defense on the field to try to rattle Florida's quarterback. Tennessee's offense could have success, but which one do you feel shakier about? It's probably that one because of the offensive line and the concerns that you have, just like Florida does.
All right.
I think it's Tennessee's offense as well, and I think one of the concerns there, along with the offensive line, is as I was watching Florida against Colorado State, these guys still play press coverage in the secondary. Even though they may not be as talented as they've been, they get in your face. They almost intercepted some of Colorado State's passes on these kind of flanker screens or throwing flare passes out there. They were jumping these routes. If Tennessee's not careful, Florida may end up with a defensive touchdown with some of that stuff. So I think because of the offensive line and because of Florida's press coverage in the secondary, Tennessee's offense on the field to me is the bigger concern.
As evenly matched as these teams are, a defensive score or a special team score could win this ball game. Yeah. Ryan, your thoughts? You more concerned about Tennessee when they have the ball or Tennessee when they're defending Florida?
I'm going to make it a clean sweep and go with the offense, and it's because, I mean, you look at last week, they just scored 24 points against UTEP. I mean, that was a fluky game. Until further notice, though, I think you've got to be a little bit worried about this offense being able to take advantage of their opportunities and score a lot of points. I don't know that they're going to be struggling to run the ball in this game. Florida's run defense isn't great, but again, that offensive line hasn't proven much so far and been very inconsistent. So I think you still got to worry about the offense, and like Jimmy said, that press coverage I think is a concern too.
You've got a stoppable object going against a movable force or however that works. I knew where you were going with the offense. I assumed that's where you would go because that's where I would go as well. And I've got some numbers to show folks at home. Take a look at this. I did this week in terms of offensive efficiency. Tennessee ranks 10th in the SEC right now in terms of yards per offensive touchdown. That's not counting special teams, defensive scores. That's just the offensive scores. Tennessee goes 111 yards between touchdowns. UT last year, now that's improvement. They went 140 yards last year between touchdowns. That was an improvement. But Florida ranks 4th in the SEC, 95. This one might be cleaner for people to understand. UT ranks 10th in the SEC in plays per offensive touchdown. Tennessee averaging about 17. Now that doesn't mean a 17-play drive. That means they run about 17 plays between scores. That's not a great number. It still beats last year's 29. I've never seen anything like that. Florida, though, their offense a little bit better than Tennessee's, which surprised me a little bit. All right, let's go to the next one here. Big plays. Everybody's talking about Tennessee with their 50-yard plays, and some idiot named Pennington misspelled yard. 50-yard plays there in 2018. Tennessee's had 5. They only had 4 all of last year, but it's a little misleading. You see how many of those plays came against the ETSU-UTEP duo and how many came against West Virginia. The big plays weren't in that first game. They came against these bad foes. Are you going to be able to continue to make big plays against a Florida defense that should have better athletes than UTEP or East Tennessee State? We got another one here. Take a look at this stat. Red zone offense versus red zone defense. The bottom line here, red zone offense versus all foes. Tennessee, 78%, 11 of 14. Florida, 12 of 13. They're better in red zone. Versus all FBS foes, so taking out the FCS that each has played. Florida 5 of 6, Tennessee 5 of 8. That counts field goals. Red zone defense, not good. Tennessee dead last in the SEC. Every time somebody's gotten in the red zone, they've scored on them. Only 2 trips into the red zone against Florida this year. Of course, they've given up some touchdowns from outside the red zone. And then finally, let me turn it around on you. The quarterback advantage. Garantano versus Franks, this is one where Tennessee might have the advantage. You see, this is just FBS opponents. If you look at Franks' numbers, they are through the roof thanks to what he did against Charleston Southern. Well, you take that out, 47% versus Garantano's 75% completion percentage. Yards are about the same, but look at the yards per attempt. Florida's thrown it a lot more. Tennessee averaging 18 passes a game. That yards per attempt for Garantano, very good. Doesn't have a lot of touchdowns, but the ratio for Franks, 4-2. I think you'd rather have the 2-0 than the 4-2. You don't want to turn the ball over. Quarterback rating way up there for Garantano. Rushing yards, higher for Franks, though, which I think if you'd looked at Garantano coming out of high school, you wouldn't have guessed that, Mr. Dual Threat quarterback. When you look at that quarterback comparison, Franks, I think, is much more prone to turning the ball over, making a mistake. To date, I think he's also the one that's more likely to make a big play with his arm. Look back to last year's Florida game, which he threw for 140 yards and then hit about a 60-yarder to win the game. If there is an advantage, do you give it to Garantano here? And if you do, how big is the advantage you give to him on the quarterback race?
I give Garantano the advantage over Franks, but I think it's a slim one. I mean, I think you've got to look at it as a situation where he hasn't been asked to do much this year. And will Tennessee throw more on his shoulders in this game? If they ask him to do a lot and he takes advantage, it could be a bigger advantage. But until further notice, Tennessee's an offense that's going to lean heavily on the run game, and I think that keeps Garantano from maybe taking over this game. But still, his ability to take care of the ball and manage the offense is worth noting. As you said, Franks is probably more likely to turn it over, so that you have to give that advantage probably to Tennessee.
I go with Garantano with the advantage. He's been much more accurate. He's at 72%. He also, to me, has looked to be more confident. He looks to be more poised. He looks to be more decisive. I like a lot about what I've seen from Garantano so far. And, John, I think the advantage is appreciable.
It's an appreciable difference. There we go.
Yeah, I like Garantano over Franks. Franks is more prone to make a mistake, and a lot of the media that we've talked to in Florida say he is still prone to making mistakes, and I think Tennessee's going to throw a lot of different looks at him.
It'll be interesting to see how many different looks they can throw at him. And also, he's a guy that you may not want to pressure. He's actually looked better statistically when he hasn't been blitzed. It's better to sit back and just confuse him than it is to go after him. Josh, do you think Tennessee with Garantano, I'll assume you think that, would you give him the advantage?
Clean sweep, yeah.
Okay.
Garantano too.
Do you think they're going to open it up a little bit more? And I'm not talking about looking like the 97 Vols with Peyton Manning, but like I said, they're averaging about 18 pass attempts, not completions. There have been years where Tennessee averaged well over 18 completions a game. They're at 18 attempts a game. Does that go up this week?
I think it does. This has kind of been wrinkle week as well. Do we see more wrinkles in Tennessee's offense? And I would say that you can look at Juwan Jennings, he's a guy that's kind of been held back a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's see if he gets more involved in the offense. That could be a way to open things up. Brandon Johnson, I asked him last week, a slot receiver for Tennessee, what does Ty Chandler bring to the offense? He said, he's a great runner. You can line him up at slot receiver. Did he let something slip to where Ty Chandler could maybe be more involved in the passing game? Do we see the Wildcat, which we saw a little bit of, saw a sneak peek last week? That could be ways to open up. That's not necessarily in the passing game, but some of that is with Garantano.
Going into the season, I wouldn't have looked at this Florida defense and said, oh, yeah, you're going to attack the secondary. But they've had 2 starters gone. They've had to move a receiver to defensive back. Mark this one down because it's been a couple of years since you could say, going into this game, the health advantage is a check mark for Tennessee.
Yeah.
So it could be that Tennessee does have a little bit more in store through the air tonight at Neyland Stadium. When we come back, we've got more in store. We've got our own prognosticator coming in, professional handicapper Tyler White joins us, and we're going to talk about over-unders. We've got 3 key matchups, Tennessee versus Florida. He's going to step us through those. We've still got our game predictions to make a little later as we get you ready for tonight's game between the Vols and the Gators. Come on back on the Sports Source Kickoff presented by Parkside Cabin Rentals.
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water has been named the world's best tasting water? That a French competition declared it a gourmet water? Did you know English Mountain Spring Water is bottled in Dandridge? And it's available for commercial and residential water service across East Tennessee. Clear, pure water with no aftertaste. From an East Tennessee source and a local company providing unmatched service. English Mountain Spring Water.
The Lodge at Five Oaks, conveniently located within walking distance to some of the area's best attractions, restaurants, and shops. Call now for special rates throughout the week or visit thelodgeat5oaks.com to plan your next getaway today.
Since 1971, Southeast Termite and Pest Control has offered free inspections, multiple pest control options, and guaranteed termite prevention and correction. Times have changed. Our service hasn't. Southeast Termite and Pest Control.
Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to money damages for injuries caused by the negligence of others. How much money often depends on the diligence, skill, and experience of your attorney. A Knoxville law firm has been helping injured people for more than 30 years.
At Bill Hodson Associates, we've collected millions of dollars from insurance companies that didn't want to treat injured people fairly. Is your case worth more than the insurance company says? Call Bill Hodson Associates and find out.
When it comes to your business, no one provides better security and life safety systems than Safety Systems. Protect your employees, your products, and your records with a single phone call. Professional technicians ready to design, install, and monitor your cutting-edge fire and security systems. Electric locks and surveillance cameras. Emergency and after-hours response and repairs. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and life safety systems.
Just 60 miles from Knoxville, adventure meets sanctuary at the historic Topoco Lodge. Originally opened in 1930, this renovated, reborn mountain retreat offers cozy, well-appointed rooms, cabins, and suites, waterfront dining, our warm signature service, and plenty of outdoor sports and activities, all within our riverside, creekside, and forest setting. Experience the historic Topoco Lodge, where adventure meets sanctuary.
Parkside Cabin Rentals, affordable rustic luxury in the Smokies. Hot tubs, pool tables, fireplaces inside and out. Our cabins are perfect for relaxing or entertaining. Visit ParksideCabinRentals.com. Plan your vacation today.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment brought to you by English Mountain Spring Water. The spring comes from an aquifer 2,500 feet below the surface of the earth. Up bubbles 2.5 million gallons of pristine, delicious water every single day. And the water you can get delivered to your home or office. It's bottled just 900 feet from the spring. I've been there. It is an impressive operation. I've also tasted the water. It is good. Check out their website, which you'll see on the television screen beneath me. There we go. There it is. Check out the website, and you'll learn more about the best water you will ever have, English Mountain Spring Water. All right. Want to welcome in the last member of our panel tonight, right over there. Professional handicapper Tyler White is back with us. Tyler, of course, runs a website. Up above him there, it says visit 3forthemoney.win. You will see his picks there. You can sign up. He's got people all over the country that follow him for his picks. Football, baseball, sport after sport, you got it all.
Absolutely. Golf. We're doing golf right now. Tiger Woods was a play today, but yeah, all sports covered at 3 for the money.
And you've got manageable rates for people who want to come in there and sign up, correct?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Very good. His rate is pretty good with me, actually. I ask you to pick 3 interesting matchups, areas that'll play in tonight's game. I do that every week. You got 3 for me today. The first one I see over there, over-under is 31.85%. What is that?
We can get it around. Third down conversion defense for Tennessee. In the loss to West Virginia, 55% the Mountaineers converted. In Tennessee's couple of wins, under 15%. We took the average, Florida converting on about 40% on the season, so it's an average of all 3 of those, but it is a 31.85. Be tough for anyone to tie on this.
To push on that one, yeah, okay. Over-under, I'm not going to go first on that one.
Yeah, what kind of odds can I get on that push, by the way? I'll go slightly over. I think that there will be a few plays where Florida's able to catch Tennessee off guard, maybe with a run on a 3rd down situation that can convert. So I'll go slightly over, 31.85.
Okay.
I'm going to go under. I'm not going to feel great about it, but I'm going to go under, in part because Tennessee's defense has forced teams to have so many 3rd and 7s or more, which is hard to convert, which is one reason they've done very well percentage-wise in the last 2 games. And the first half against West Virginia was 0 for 3. I'm going to go under.
Okay.
You know, I think I'm going to go under too, and it's not because Tennessee's defense is so great. It's because to convert a lot of those 3rd downs, like Jimmy's saying, 3rd and longers, you know, West Virginia hit some of those because they had Will Grier, a good passing quarterback. I don't think Florida has that in Felipe Franks. Give this Tennessee defense some 3rd and 7s. I think they'll make a good number of stops in this game.
I'll go over, just so Josh won't be lonely.
There you go.
I'll go over, but I will point out, too, if we flip this around, Florida is allowing more than 50% 3rd down conversions against FBS opponents, and their worst play in terms of their opposing quarterback rating, 3rd down. So the opponents have taken advantage of them on 3rd down. It's one to watch if we flip it. Tyler, which way should we have gone here, over or under on this one?
It's a Florida offense that has struggled. Under, I think, is the correct play here. Felipe Franks is going to be the dynamic guy that makes a difference in this game. But 3rd and long will be absolutely a pivotal reason for that. But under 31.85 for the first one.
Okay, what's the next one? 1.5.
1.5 is turnovers. Tennessee's done a fantastic job on the season not giving the other team the football. Florida has done a fantastic job of taking it away. 8th nationally, a couple against Kentucky. But we're going 1.5 right with Tennessee right now. They've done a solid job, but it's a pretty talented Florida defense.
Okay.
I'm going to go over. I think Tennessee will have 2 turnovers. So I'm going to go over on that. I think Florida's defense is so fast, they're so active, I think they'll be able to create a couple.
Okay.
I'm tempted to say under because Tennessee's done a good enough job, but I'm going to say over too, and it's because this team, maybe it's too much because of history, but I'm going to go with what this game historically does. Tennessee often makes more mistakes than usual in this game. Again, like Jimmy said, an active defense, they're going to cause more mistakes by Tennessee. So I'll say 2 or 3, but definitely over.
Well, I mean, that's another thing to throw in here. Everybody's talking about, well, what wrinkles could Tennessee have on offense and defense? What haven't they shown Florida? That works the other way too. Florida might have some wrinkles for Tennessee that they haven't shown.
Sure.
I'm going to go with the over. I'm in believe it when I see it mode with Tennessee at this point. So they've done a good job so far. SEC defense, a little different test. I'll go over.
I think you're supposed to fade the crowd, but I'm going to go over as well. I'll say a fumble. They have had an issue at times putting the ball on the ground, and I'll say that Garantano throws a pick as well. He's due for one.
Yeah.
And if I do think that Tennessee will let him do a little more, and I do, then there's a better chance that he throws one to the other team.
All right, Tyler, what do you think?
I think both. I think it's going to be an ugly game, but I'm going over here. I do think Jarrett will struggle and throw an interception. He's due for one, you're right, and Tennessee has put the football on the ground. I do think it's over, but I expect both teams to have a couple each, so it's not going to be the deciding factor, I don't think.
It'll be interesting to see how many carries Banks gets tonight, since he's put it on the ground each of the last 2 weeks. Now, 2 weeks ago, it was called back due to a review, but still. All right, the last one you got over there, over-under of 2.5. What are we looking at?
Sacks allowed by Tennessee. This is an important one. It's a Florida defense we mentioned, pretty talented. Tennessee has struggled against some pretty bad competition and allowed the quarterback to get hit. It's a talented Florida defense. They have athletes. We're going 2.5.
Okay. I'll give you guys a little insight here. UT allowed 3 sacks per game last year against FBS teams. 3. They're averaging 2 in each of their 2 FBS games this year. So 3, 2, 2.5. Florida so far this year, averaging 2.5 sacks that they're recording. So in other words, 2.5 is the dead-on number here. That isn't going to help you make your decision. I'll start out, though. I will go over. If UTEP can get pressure on you, if ETSU can get some pressure on you, it may not be much over, but I'm going to say over. I'll say 3 sacks, so I'll go over. I'm
going to go over as well. Florida is more athletic than what Tennessee has faced over the last couple of weeks on the other side. And I do think Tennessee's going to try to throw. So I think that could put Garantano in a position where he's open to more sacks. But I think it's going to be close. I think 2 or 3 is probably the range.
Yeah, I think that's in there.
I'm going over also, and I'm going over for a couple of reasons. One, Tennessee's offensive line, which has been porous. The other part of it is I think that Florida, with their press coverage, he may be looking at somebody and that guy's not there because there's somebody all over him, and then he looks somewhere else and it's going to be too late. So not more than 5 times, but the point is I think they'll be over on the sack total. So I think that's a number that Florida will be able to accomplish.
The number will be appreciably larger than it was against UTEP.
Yes.
Okay. Over under on the sacks 2.5.
I'll take the over too, but I don't know that it's the slam dunk that people might think it is based on just Tennessee's offensive line being kind of shaky so far. I do think the point Jimmy made is a very good one about the press coverage. Jared Garantano is very, I think in the past he's been sort of risk averse, I would say. He's more likely to hold on to the ball than to throw it into triple coverage. Because of that, I think he's more likely to take a few sacks in this game, maybe not throw more than an interception or 2, but still going to take some sacks against a pretty active defense. So I'll take the over.
All right. Tyler, which way should we have gone on this one?
I think it's over. Part of not throwing interceptions is holding on to the football. Florida did not record a sack against Kentucky, which gives hopes to Tennessee, but Kentucky ran the ball an awful lot. I do expect Tennessee to run the ball today, but I do think it's over, but not by much.
Okay, very good. When we come back, Tyler's going to give us his professional pick against the spread for Tennessee-Florida tonight. We're going to tell you why Tennessee will win. Tennessee will win if. We'll give you the if. Come on back on the Sports Source Kickoff.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control can help protect your home from animals, trapping and relocating wildlife, fixing the damage they cause, and preventing them from invading your home in the first place. Call Southeast Termite and Pest Control and ask about our many services.
The Lodge at 5 Oaks, conveniently located within walking distance to some of the area's best attractions, restaurants, and shops. Call now for special rates throughout the week or visit thelodge@5oaks.com to plan your next getaway today.
Just 60 miles from Knoxville, adventure meets sanctuary at the historic Topoco Lodge, featuring the Topoco Tavern with comfortable seating inside or riverside for lunch and dinner, expanded patio dining, private rooms for events, drinks on the observation deck, and at our multiple bars. Try the Carolina Mountain Trout, a Black Angus choice ribeye, or build your own hand-tossed pizza. Experience the Topoco Tavern at the historic Topoco Lodge.
When it comes to your home, no one provides better security and audio-video systems than Safety Systems. Control everything using your tablet or smartphone, whether it's a hidden TV or the temperature in your home. Lighting, doors that open and close, lock and unlock, cameras that allow you to watch your home from wherever you may be, all at the touch of a button. Trust Safety Systems, East Tennessee's leader in security and audio-video systems.
Under Tennessee law, you're entitled to money damages for injuries caused by the negligence of others. How much money often depends on the diligence, skill, and experience of your attorney. A Knoxville law firm has been helping injured people for more than 30 years.
At Bill Hudson Associates, we've collected millions of dollars from insurance companies that didn't want to treat people fairly. Have you been hurt in a car wreck? Are you being treated fairly? Call us and find out.
Experience you can trust.
Did you know English Mountain Spring Water has been named the world's best tasting water? That a French competition declared it a gourmet water? Did you know English Mountain Spring Water is bottled in Dandridge? And it's available for commercial and residential water service across East Tennessee. Clear, pure water with no aftertaste. From an East Tennessee source and a local company providing unmatched service. English Mountain Spring Water.
Southeast Termite and Pest Control is locally owned, locally operated, handling thousands of commercial and residential jobs all across East Tennessee. Protect your home with a free inspection and estimate from Southeast Termite and Pest Control.
Welcome back into the Sports Source Kickoff. This segment of our program brought to you by Bill Hodson Associates. These guys cannot unwreck a car. They can't heal your injuries that you suffer in a wreck, but they can help you recover fair compensation for your injuries and losses. The law is there to protect you against careless drivers. Bill Hodson Associates are the attorneys to call to get the help to get the compensation. Bill Hodson and Associates. Vols Gators tonight at 7 at Neyland Stadium, and tomorrow we will have a full breakdown of the game at 11 a.m. on WATE TV6. That is the Sports Source. We're in year 16, and here's the deal. We got 5 media members, 4 VFLs, and if Tennessee wins, well, the last time they beat Florida, we had Travis Stevens, Travis Henry, Jason Allen just drop in. So if they win, I'm going to guess we will have a big crowd tomorrow at 11 a.m. over on Channel 6 for the Sports Source. Join us there. Guys, these teams look like mirror images of each other. We need to be kind of quick here, so everybody give me one. Tennessee will win if, and I'll let you guys go first.
I'll say if Tennessee's able to hit big plays, and that can be on offense, that can be on defense combined. If Tyler wants to set a number on that, but big plays, open it up on offense, and at some point the defense has to make a play because Jeremy Pruitt has stressed for a reason. Force turnovers, get the football.
Okay, I was going to start with Ryan, so that's my fault. I'll go to you. Jimmy, you have to wait your turn. Where are we going?
I will say if Tennessee can consistently run the ball well. I think it's still an offense that needs to be able to move it consistently. Kentucky did it very easily against this Florida team, put up some big numbers on the ground. I don't expect Tennessee to do that, but this is an offense that needs probably 150 yards on the ground to have a pretty good day offensively. I think you've got to keep the chains moving, keep that run game going the way they've had it the first few weeks, and you've got a shot to win this game.
Jimmy, Tennessee will win if?
First down efficiency. I think all of their 5 plays of 50 or more yards have been on first down. Ty Chandler's long run, then the 50-yard passes. Tennessee's been 21 out of 25 on first down throws. They've been really outstanding with their first downs, with the play calling, with their execution. I'll say first down efficiency.
Okay, and I'll do an offshoot from Ryan here. I thought this is where you're going to go. I'm going to branch out. Mine will be win the line of scrimmage. Offensively, defensively, one thing that I know you've brought up on your radio show this week, Jimmy, is the last 4 years, it's kind of gone the opposite of what history said about this series, and that is the team that has rushed the ball for the most yards has not won the last 4 years. I think that changes tonight because both of these teams, I think, are going to want to run the football first. I think they both go in with the same plan. I don't think either one of them, may be wrong, but I don't think either one of them wants the game coming down to their quarterback throwing the football.
And I think their mindset is more in that regard. It's not a throw and then to set up the run, like West Virginia, for example.
Right, yeah.
So I agree with you.
Yeah. I think win the line of scrimmage. That's what they got to do to win it. Tyler, what is the latest on the line? And people pay you for this, but I ask you since it's Saturday, give us a freebie. What would you be instructing your crew to do with their money, Tennessee, Florida?
We're feeling good this morning, but absolutely the number is out there. You can price and shop this at 3.5. You can find it at 4.5. We'll call it 4. Most books are carrying this number at 4. Total in the game 44.5, one of the lowest on the entire card today. They're expecting an ugly game, low-scoring game, but Tennessee will call it 4. Pays to shop, though. 3.5, a better number than 4, 4.5, obviously. But I expect Tennessee to fight and play a close game. I think Tennessee is certainly the side with the points. I expect whoever wins, it could come down to a field goal either way, but I do expect Tennessee and the points to be the right side.
Okay, very good. You're not going to pick a winner. You're going to keep people happy out there by just saying Tennessee to cover?
Absolutely no winner, but
yeah.
I do think it's a close game.
All right. Well, I'm going to get you guys to do both. Tennessee +4. Do they cover? Do they win? Josh, who said Florida on my Sunday show.
I did. So 6 days ago, John, I was picking Florida on the Sunday show. Today I'm picking Tennessee as the week's gone along. I don't think we're watching 2 particularly good teams. No. I see Tennessee with a home field advantage getting a close win.
Okay.
I've got Tennessee winning by 3, so yes and yes.
2 yeses.
I'm in the same boat. I've got Tennessee covering and winning outright. And I'm in the same boat with Josh. If you asked me a week ago, I probably would have said Florida wins.
I'm not confident in this at all. But unlike Wishy-Washy Josh here, which that's your Trump name, Wishy-Washy Josh, I picked Florida on Sunday, and I'm going to stick with it. But I think it's going to be mighty close. I do think this one's going to be a tight one. If they win, join us tomorrow. If they lose, join us tomorrow, 11 a.m. over on WATE 6. Thanks for watching. Thanks to all these guys and Tyler for being here. We will see you tomorrow on Channel 6. We'll see you next Saturday right back here on Fox 43.
This has been a presentation of Fox 43 Sports.